Thank you again.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Hazel. So we'll proceed with the next item. The states of Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, and Goa host one of the world's 8 hottest hotspots of biological diversity, the Western Ghats. With exceptionally high level of biological diversity, this is an area of outstanding universal value. About 50 million people are estimated to live in the Western Ghats region, resulting in pressures that are orders of magnitude greater than many protected areas around the world. Conserving biodiversity here is crucial for India and the world. Interspecies money movement is a vehicle that can bring together the localized efforts of the independent agencies and indigenous people, tools and strategies used by the governments of forests of Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, and Goa, and also unite their efforts on a single platform using digital and financial technology. Professor Raghunath will anchor the fireside ministerial conversation with Shri Ishwar Khandre. I invite Professor Raghunath to the stage. Professor Raghunath specializes in strategic alliances and strategic leadership. Raghunath is the India chapter chair of the Academy of International Business and is on the board of directors in leading academic institutions and corporations. From 2011 to 14, he held multiple important roles at IMB, including Dean, overseeing administration, and chairperson for International Students Exchange Program and NSRCEL. He is a renowned educator, teaching postgraduate and doctoral courses in various subjects like alliance management, strategic networks, e-business strategies, and has been a visiting professor at esteemed international institutions. I request Professor Raghunath to introduce the Honorable Minister.
I have the pleasure and privilege of welcoming Honorable Minister, Mr. Ishwar Khandre. All of us must know that he has been in the Karnataka Legislative Assembly since 2008, isn't it? And in the earlier Siddaramaiah government, you were also the Minister for Municipal Affairs and Public Enterprise Management. And in his current role, obviously, in the interspecies money movement, he probably will have a significant role in promoting this initiative. May I kindly invite you to host and also to share your thoughts with us. So in the current dispensation of what we heard, which was very inspiring, isn't it? So world over, including our government and our country, we are all so engaged with GDP, right? Gross domestic product. We look at economic activity, we look at all the contributions that human beings make. And what he was saying touched me quite a bit, because we never consider the larger ecological system, the biodiversity which resides in our country. Especially, I was given some data about our entire belt of the Western Ghat being the 8th largest hotspot for biodiversity, and almost 50 million people residing in that area, and a competition about who's going to survive and who's going to thrive. I think some of the things that Mr. Legrand mentioned were in a view, to my mind, I was sitting here and listening to him very carefully. It's almost like we can only be healthy if the gut bacteria in a human being is also active and alive and thriving. Otherwise, there is no way we will digest what we intake. There is no way that we will take on the nutrients from what we intake. And of course, excrete the waste. So my inspiration in terms of what you're saying is that it is not just the human beings who can support and sustain the planet. All these million species, and more importantly, in your portfolio, to preserve the life of a species. In other words, a species alive is more valuable than a species which is dead, right? I think that was my takeaway listening to him in the past few minutes. And Minister, you have the privilege of collaborating in such an initiative, and we would like to listen to your thoughts.
I fully agree with you. I am fortunate enough that I have been given in charge of Forest and Environment Ministry. And our resolve is that we have to protect earth, we have to conserve forest, we have to protect the species. All species on earth, they have got every right to live. So as you said, Karnataka, it has got a rich forest cover. We are having around 21% of forest in Karnataka. We have to still improve and increase. And we are also quite fortunate enough that one of the 8 hotspots, Western Ghat. So we are number 1 in Karnataka. There is a very big issue. Long back, Gadgil report came. And later on, Kasturi Rangan report. So it came in the year 2013. Since 2013 and 2023, it is under consideration. A lot of issues are there. 10 to 11 districts, lakhs of people's lives are also there. Lives, conservation and livelihood, all are very important. When we talk of sustainable development, then we have to balance between nature and between the human being also. So, as you said, climate change is the very biggest challenge today that mankind is facing. Because of, we are seeing so many things, global warming. That's why global warming is happening. And we are seeing with our own eyes that so many people are dying every year. Recently in European countries, in our country also, in North India, during summer season, the temperature went up to 48, 49, 50. We saw in newspaper that many people, like every day we saw 50 people dying because of heat waves. So these are all future dangers which have to be avoided at any cost. We have to hand over this earth to the next generation in a healthy way. That's very important. That is the top priority. Along with this, so a lot of pollution is there, as you are saying. There is air pollution, water pollution, food pollution. So all everywhere we have been seeing. So many reasons are there, urbanization is there. So we are going for many inventions, many whichever is good for us in the name of development, all sorts of things are happening. So now it's time. It's high time that regarding interspecies, just recently only I have heard it. It's new to me. So I think It's a good development that our FKCCI and Atria and Swissnex, no? Yeah, all they have come together and organized this conclave. It will go a long way for progress in this area also. Government of Karnataka is committed to preserve all these things. Like we have got good laws. Forest Conservation Act is there, Biodiversity Act is there, Wildlife Act is there, Environment Protection Act is there. Question is, are we implementing these acts properly? So in a country like India where the populations are 140 crores, then only making laws all will not be enough. Awareness is very important. We are lagging in awareness. That's the reason why till today Kasturi Rangan report has not been implemented. A lot of pressure is there. We discuss in assembly, we discuss in council, we discuss in the parliament also. And we form committees after committees to get the report. So all those issues are there. It may take some time, but we have to still educate people. We have to make awareness amongst the people to conserve forest, environment, biodiversity, along with to protect all the species. To maintain this ecosystem, protection of species is very important. And that thing, and along with this, we have to include this in the curriculum from primary to the higher level. That's also very important. And we have to, in fact, take the support of experts like you, and then we have to introduce and implement it. That's very important.
Thank you very much, Minister. One other thing which occurs to me, it just occurred to me after I listened to him. One of the biggest thriving industries in Bangalore and many other places is the Swiggy, Zomato food delivery guys, right? I mean, all of us are ever thankful for that supply of energy which comes from what we eat, right? We all know that that has been enabled by technology. A technology which identifies a motorcycle rider or a scooter rider, a technology which tracks, a technology which informs as to how far the guy is or how close he is and what's happening and all of that. In this movement which he is talking about, I think it is so important to identify, which is a great movement. I mean, it's a huge effort, right, to even look at that.
True.
And also use technology, which we are doing. In conservation of this engendered species today, those which are in danger. We are doing that. We are using RFIDs, sensor-based tracking systems to enable that to happen. And the reason why we all know why this is being done is that the primary source of transformation is first data. We need information. Like even in you have been in charge of Bidar district, right? So he's been the minister in charge of Bidar district for the longest time, almost 15 years now.
No, I am representing Bhalki Assembly constituency in Bidar district since around 15 years.
Right, sir.
This is my fourth term.
Right.
And I was a minister for 2 years in Mr. Siddharamaya's government.
Right.
When I was heading municipal administration and public enterprises.
Exactly.
And now recently, again, I have become minister of Bidar also.
Right, right. So, one of the first things as somebody in charge, you want to know what is going on, isn't it?
Exactly.
In other words,
exactly.
Data. So, when they are proposing a platform where all stakeholders come together and first collect data, this is like the oil of whatever they are doing. And then we are able to manage and do the analytics required to come up with recommendations, action plans, which are based on that initiative. So in the data registry that the government has, your,
Yeah.
is there an opportunity for this movement to actually become a partner and help you do that? Are there gaps in which they can help?
Definitely there are opportunities. We have to plan it properly. Planning is very important. As you said, we have to collect the data. We have to have a discussion with the stakeholders. There are different kinds of issues in different districts, in different geographical areas. So we have to understand that. We have to have a consultation with all the experts. And then we'll have to formulate a policy. That can happen. There should not be any problem regarding this from the government side also.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Minister. So I think the Atria University initiative to identify projects and then see how the policy support, the funding support can come in to progress this movement, what would be your initial thoughts on it? Are there some areas where you think they can work on?
Where there is a will, there is a way. So if you have plans to 100%, if sincerity, honesty, integrity, hard work could go a long way. You must have the will to do it. So whatever you propose, the things, sky is the limit. We can do anything. Government will support. This government will definitely support as long as I am the Forest and Environment Minister. So I am for it, proactive. So whatever suggestions you give, we'll 100% will try to implement it, we'll support. There should not be any problem for resources and all other things. We can get CSR funds, we can get government funds also. A lot of things are there. Many things can be done.
Thank you so very much. So are there questions from the audience? Yes, yes, madam. Now you can take this.
My name is Bhargavi. A question to our Honorable Minister. So, in case we do embrace this program, I just got back from Galibore in southern Bangalore, Kanakpura region. The grizzled squirrel is a near threatened species. And the Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary is the last home for this grizzled squirrel. So in case the grizzled squirrel manages to raise the interspecies money, does that mean the government will step back and not build the Mekedatu Dam?
I did not understand your question properly. You say.
Yeah, so from what I understood with the current proposal, if we do raise money, if the grizzled squirrel manages to raise the interspecies money for its protection of its habitat, of its the community around.
Yes, of course, government will support.
Yeah, so does that, so in case we have to support that species, it will also translate into the government stepping back and reconsidering the Mekedatu Dam. Would that be possible? Thank you.
There is a very bigger issue, the policy of the government. So Bangalore is growing. Bangalore's population is around 1 crore 40 lakhs. So based on the need of the Bangalore people, water needs are there. So drinking water is a priority for everybody. And of course, conservation of forest and all other things are also very important. We'll have to look into it. I alone cannot take a decision regarding this. It has to be done at the highest level. So whatever you say, whatever is your proposal, I can place it before the competent authorities. And we can all have a discussion regarding this and come to a conclusion in the interest of the state, in the interest of the people, and in the interest of this preservation of species and all. That can be done. Already. I did not see you.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
Good, sir. Thank you. Sir, I know it, I am Balavira Reddy, to others, former Vice Chancellor. I am really happy that you said include in curriculum, make it compulsory. In all the programs, not only professionals and BCom, BSc, etc., make it as one of the subjects. In addition to these species, please see that another type of species are there. These plants, medicinal plants. Medicinal plants in our India itself, there are more than 8,000 plants are there.
Agreed.
And if you see in the world, 50,000 to 80,000 plants are there. And that will also help tribals to improve our health so that they will benefit. Clusters of these plants and trees, medicinal plants, can be developed. Why don't we make as a compulsory subject in all the programs of our educational institutions? Thank you, sir.
Very good suggestion, sir. Species means it covers everything. Plants, animals, insects, all kinds of species on the planet. Totally, yeah.
Hello, sir.
Mr.
May
Shall I want to ask a question?
I know, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Good morning, sir. This is regarding Jonathan
This Kasturi Rangan
reference
report
to the
Yeah.
has been hanging fire for the last 2 years or 3 years,
Last 10 years.
last 10 years.
Yeah.
Last 2 years it has been on discussion of people.
Report came in
What
2013.
and today you are kind enough to say that there are many issues. And when are these issues going to be sorted out? And after all, 4 states have together and to preserve the Western
Sir,
Ghats
for
and the
your
ecosystem.
information, Karnataka government is very serious about it, and we have been protecting biodiversity, and we have been protecting
I know,
Western
sir,
Ghats, definitely.
I was a journalist.
So,
I'm still a journalist.
There is no need to worry regarding this. Only regarding the notification, implementation part, the highest level in the sense that the government of Karnataka, the government of India, and the Honorable Chief Minister and the Prime Minister, all of them have to take a call on this because six states are involved in this. So all of them have to come together and decide regarding this. I hope
No,
it,
I know that.
it is at the finality is coming now. One more committee they have formed. That is Sanjay Kumar committee. They had met. They are going to submit a report maybe in 1 or 2 months. Most probably by this year end, it may be finalized.
One more question. Now that human habitat is extending and eating into the forest areas, how are you going to conserve the forest area? And most of your reserve forests are now being occupied for something or other. And then with the forest area shrinking and the wildlife population, especially tiger and elephants, increasing, how are you going to regulate the population and conserve, not only conservation, but regulation also is necessary, especially deer, elephants, and cheetahs. Now they are entering the town because the forest area is shrunk. So what are the measures taken by the forest department to conserve, at the same time regulate the population?
As I already said, sir, forest acts are being implemented very strictly in Karnataka. So protected forest is there, reserve forest is there, deemed forest is there. All forest area is totally intact, for your information. And why man-animal conflict? It is there. Urbanization is there, so many things are there, animals are coming out of the forest. So we have to take some measures, and the government of Karnataka is at it. So regarding we have lost some valuable human life also because of this man-animal conflict. Nearly 51 people died last year. So especially due to elephant menace is there. So all precautionary measures are being taken. So railway barricading, solar fencing, and protecting. In Karnataka especially, for yesterday I have released, tiger numbers have increased. how will they increase without the conservation of the forest, without the conservation of the wildlife? We had earlier 402.3 tigers. Now our camera has captured 435 tigers that they have captured actually. So now we have got more than that, maybe around 550 to 600 tigers are there. Nearly 6,000 and odd elephants are there in Karnataka. So conservation is definitely there. It's because thanks to our former Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi, wherein we brought in 1980, this Forest Conservation Act came. That has not been diluted till now. I don't know exactly, recently, 2-3 days back, one more amendment in Forest Conservation Act has come in Parliament. Some Biodiversity Act has also come in Parliament. So we have to see what that amendment is there. We are at it, we are doing it. Forest will definitely be protected. I would like to assure you.
I have a question.
Thank you for all the questions. In the interest of time, we'll be moving ahead with the program. I'm pretty sure the audience would agree with me. This was a pretty engaging conversation. Interspecies money movement can provide the metrics of measurement that can be used to quantify, create benchmarks, and kickstart this initiative. With funding and development support from the government and independent agencies, biodiversity, conservation, and value creation become metric-based. May I invite Dr. Nagesh and Shri Kaushik Raju to join us on the stage to present the mementos to Shri Ishwar Khandre and Professor Raghunath? Thank you, Dr. Nagesh and Shri Kaushik Raju. Coffee and tea are being served. Enjoy a hot cup and we will reconvene in 20 minutes. I would request volunteers to guide the delegates for tea and coffee, and panelists, please remain seated. I repeat, I would kindly request the panelists to remain seated. The volunteers will guide delegates for tea and coffee.